So my favorite kind of games right now are these XCOM style turn-based strategy games. I find something satisfying about successfully planning out enemy encounters and walking away with minimal damages. It's like chess in a way, with how you outsmart your opponent by thinking several moves ahead. I won't claim to be the best at these kind of games, or chess for that matter, but there's something about them that I enjoy a lot. I'm talking about games like XCOM, Baldur's Gate 3, even the last game I reviewed, Marvel Midnight Suns. They all scratch that itch. So when I learned about Jagged Alliance 3, an XCOM style game mostly grounded in reality, it immediately piqued my interest. Overall, I enjoyed my experience of Jagged Alliance, but a few tedious aspects stop it from excelling into something great. Here are my thoughts. I like to think of Jagged Alliance 3 as a cross between XCOM and Wasteland 3, so I'm going to be comparing this game to those as a frame of reference. The game has very similar gameplay to XCOM and sometimes the zany and often dark humor seen in Wasteland 3. The setup sees you leading a group of mercenaries as you infiltrate an island nation that's been taken over by a terroristic gang. It's your job to liberate the people of the nation, capture diamond mines to fund your mission, and ultimately rescue the president who's been held hostage by the leader of the gang, known as the Major. Unlike in XCOM, where your operatives can be fully customizable, Jagged Alliance has a spectrum of pre-made characters for you to hire and use at your disposal. This was fine for me, since most of the characters have their own personality, but I love being able to create characters from scratch. You do have one opportunity to create a custom character, but the guy that I created died almost instantly, since his stats were awful. I would have liked to have another opportunity to create a custom character, but like I said earlier, the characters that are here are unique enough so I didn't really mind. It's fun to hear the operatives in my squad interact with one another. They'll address each other by name, give each other compliments if they hit a good shot in combat, and chime in during NPC interactions to provide their input. It would have been so easy to have these characters be like stick in the muds with no personality and only have a few standouts, but luckily that's the opposite. A lot of these characters have their own personality that complement their skill set. Like some are better marksmen while others are better at handling explosives. Someone in the chat told me that a lot of these characters are carryovers from the first and second games, which I thought was interesting. Some of the characters that were standouts to me were this one guy who is completely roided out and talked about going to the gym a lot. This one character that I tried recruiting said she refused to join my squad because there wasn't another woman on the team. I even had an operative refuse to join my team because he didn't trust another guy on my team. Of course, some of the characters' one-liners that they repeat throughout the game get a little annoying, but for me, it was really just in one ear and out the other. But it's the character dynamics like this that can add replay value to the game. Like, I think it would be cool to see how different operatives interact with one another in future playthroughs. As I said earlier, the gameplay of Jagged Alliance 3 is very similar to XCOM, so if you're familiar with that, then you should be right at home with this game. Each operative has a set amount of AP to use to move around the battle arena or for attacks. You can use extra AP to increase the accuracy of your shots, to crouch or go prone, to hunker down and cover, or to go into Overwatch to protect a certain area. Instead of a hub world or a base that you often see in these types of games, you get these two screens where you conduct your business. One is a browser where you can contract mercenaries, read your emails, and purchase weapons and ammunition. The mercenaries are organized into 3 tiers, with the first tier having the cheapest guys. There's an additional 4th tier that has the best operatives, but for that tier you have to pay a fee to unlock it. Rather than purchasing your operatives once, you have to contract them out for several days at a time. And once those days are up, you can either re-sign them or send them back to wherever they came from. Having to do this every couple of days gets a little annoying, but I think it allows players to test out a mercenary for a short while, and if you don't like them, then you can send them right back. The second screen I mentioned is a grid-based map of the island nation of Grand Chien, where you can move your squad around. Each grid is explorable, with some having secrets to find, but you're going to want to focus a lot of your time on taking back the many towns, docks, and diamond mines throughout the map. The towns earn you loyalty with the citizens of Grand Chien, and usually have NPCs you can talk to for side quests, or hospitals to heal your squad up quickly. The docks allow you to move around the island quickly, and gives your weapons supplier a place to drop off your purchases, and the diamond mines increase your weekly income so you can buy better guns and operatives. I found that it was pretty vital that I get my first diamond mine as quickly as possible, as your weekly income isn't that much to start off, but once I got my first mine, my money went up exponentially. I would say there's a sharper learning curve here than there is in XCOM. See, instead of getting a percentage of a shot's success like in XCOM, you instead get all the factors that are working for and against your shot. I'm talking things like who has the high ground, how far the enemy is, your operative's own marksman ability, and whether it's foggy or dark out. It's stuff like that. It makes you really reconsider what is and isn't a good shot. Early on in my playthrough, I found myself opting to go into Overwatch rather than using the last of my AP to take a shot that I was kinda iffy on. And early on, you won't be able to afford the best guys, so every shot attempt feels iffy. Safe to say, I struggled a lot early on. Like in XCOM, operatives have permadeath. If they die, they're not coming back. And I chose the option when I was starting up to only have one save file. There was a point where I had operatives keep dying and money was starting to run low, so I genuinely thought I was going to have to restart my playthrough. It really forced me to get strategic and think critically, and I love that aspect of this game. All this being said though, once you get to the point later on in the game where you have the best operatives with the best stats and the best weapons and armor, Jagged Alliance becomes a little easy. The game will throw you into some pretty fucked situations every now and then, but with some careful strategy, I kinda handled them with ease. Thankfully, there's an auto-resolve feature for smaller encounters that I use often towards the end of the game that allowed me to skip the tedium of these fights. The story is somewhat basic, there's really not a whole lot to it. The nation of Grand Chien and its president are seized by an army of rebels led by the mysterious Major. It's up to your team to save the president, figure out who the Major is, and liberate the people of Grand Chien. And that's really about it. The side quests are where you're going to find the most interesting storylines and characters. Some of the standouts to me see you visiting a town that has all these references to the show Twin Peaks. As a fan of the show, I got a real kick out of this one. Another side quest sees you linking up with the mafioso to free one of his comrades from a prison, only for that comrade to double cross his boss, which leaves you having to pick a side. And another sees you working with a doctor to develop a cure to a mutated strain of the rabies virus, which is turning people into actual zombies. The side quests can get pretty zany at times and allows the humor of the game to really shine. You will encounter some side quests with obtuse or unclear directions, so I didn't really bother completing those. There is an open-ended nature to Jagged Alliance. Once the map is opened up to you, you're free to go wherever you want, even straight to the endgame section if you so choose. It's like Elden Ring or Breath of the Wild in that aspect. I wouldn't recommend going to the endgame, but it's cool to have that option. It's interesting though, because there's certain plot developments that happen because you go to a specific point of the map. So I wonder if you could avoid that occurrence or if it simply wouldn't happen if you don't go to that spot. That'd be an interesting experiment to test out on a future playthrough, or maybe that's something that you could see for yourself if you decide to pick up the game. Now, I've spoken pretty positively about Jagged Alliance 3 so far, but there are a lot of quality of life issues that bog the experience down and left me frustrated at points. For one, anytime you leave a menu, especially the inventory menu, the game defaults to only having one member of your party selected, rather than your whole team. So when you click to move your whole team, only one guy moves, making you have to reselect your team every time. Rarely am I ever moving one guy at a time outside of a combat scenario. If I want to move, I usually mean to move everybody. Also, the UI of this game gets very sticky. You could be trying to click on something and the UI of another item or person pops up and gets in the way. There were also instances where I had to click twice on something, like an NPC to talk to or item to loot. I mean, I'm not sure if my first click didn't register or what's going on, but these may sound like nitpicks, but when they constantly happen, it gets real annoying. When you start up a playthrough, there's an option for tutorial pop-ups to trigger, but they're often infrequent and unhelpful. I still feel like I never got a grasp of the grit or loyalty systems. One side quest revolves entirely around a town's loyalty to you, but I never figured out how I could check what their loyalty was. There was this one occurrence in the main storyline later in the game where all the territory you reclaimed was taken back by the enemy in a matter of seconds, this time by better and stronger enemies. To some players, this could be incredibly frustrating, and understandably so. All the progress just wiped away almost instantly. To me, I wasn't really that concerned because at this point I was more so focused on finishing the game. It was here where I started auto-resolving battles because I didn't really feel like wasting my time taking back the land that I'd already taken. I think there are some features that would have been cool if the game had added, like land vehicles to get around the map easier. Outside of using the boat, you have to walk everywhere, which causes your operatives to get tired. I think it would have been cool if the game also added the ability to call in like airstrikes or attack helicopters like in the Mercenary franchise. It wouldn't have to be frequent where it breaks the game, but maybe it could give you like a limited number of uses for you to use wisely. I think Jagged Alliance 3 is a good recommendation if you like this type of game. And if you're looking to break into turn-based strategies, I think there are worse games that you could use as a launching point. XCOM Enemy Unknown, Baldur's Gate 3, or Wasteland 3 I think would be better recommendations. With all that being said, I'm feeling like a 7 out of 10 on this one. So, have you guys played this game? What'd you think about it? Let me know down in the comments, or if you think you're going to check out this one for yourself. I would love to hear your opinion. And now, for the next game, I'll be playing as Phase 3 of the Backlog Brigade. So we're going to spin the wheel. We'll figure out what game I'm going to be playing next. So I've added a few games to the backlog. I know I said that I wasn't going to buy more games until I finished the games I already had. But my stepbrother asked me what I want for Christmas. I couldn't think of anything, so I just said, hey, give me a Steam gift card. And so I added 3 more games to the list. So we got Trepang 2. We got Warhammer 40K, Space Marines, just the first one. I don't have the second one. I don't really have any intentions of playing the second one, but if I like this first one, then the second one could be in the cards. And then I had Alien Isolation. I feel like it'd be pretty fun to play a horror game like that. So yeah, I added to the backlog a little bit, but we got the OG Deus Ex. We got Divinity Original Sin. So I'll play the first one, and then I would play the second one because I got them in a bundle. We got Pathologic 2, Vampire the Masquerade, Trepang 2, Warhammer 40K, and Alien Isolations. I'd be pretty okay with any one of these. I feel like playing Divinity Original Sin would be cool because they just announced I don't know if it's a 3rd installment, but Larian announced Divinity, which I guess might be like a spin-off or like a continuation of the series. Anyways, we're gonna spin it and let fate decide. Oh, really? Vampire the Masquerade. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so I did start this one, but it's been so long since I played it that I'm kind of just want to restart the whole playthrough. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna restart Vampire the Masquerade. I need to download the mod, install the updated mod. But okay, this wasn't the one I was expecting, but I'm okay with this. I do want to finish this one. So there you have it. The next game I'll be playing is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. I probably won't check out the sequel because I hear it's a disappointment. But if you want to watch me play the first one and hear what I have to say about it in real time, then you can catch me streaming it over on Twitch. I stream about twice a week now. I'll leave the link to my Twitch in the description below, as well as my other social media. If you've enjoyed this video, leave it a like and consider subscribing. I'll leave my first review in the corner right here and another one of my videos over here. I'm Sam Lebowski. This is Phase 2 of the Backlog Brigade. I'll see you guys in Phase 3. Y'all take it easy. I'll catch you next time.